You have been wanting to move to Boise, I know, and you love the idea of 4 seasons, but you're not so sure about that one season, and that is winter, and I don't blame you. I would be concerned too, especially if I'd never lived in a place where it snowed. So today I'm going to tell you all about what it's like living in Boise during the winter. But before we get started, let's go inside. We are experiencing that Arctic blast right now and it's freezing, so let's go inside and warm up. Okay, friends, woo, you're moving around there a little bit, aren't you? Gather around. I am gonna spill the tea on what it's like living here as a Californian in the Boise, Idaho area. So this is my 20th winter. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how much time has gone by since I moved here. I've been here 20 years, my 20th winter. I will be completely honest with you, it is not my favorite. I am not a huge fan of winter, but it is part of living here. And every season I look forward to the next. So, you know, you get spring, you get summer, you get fall, winter's just part of the package. But fear not, there are ways to get through it. So I'm going to tell you all about it. How do you survive winter here, being from California? And I mean, I get it. If you come from a place where it's just a mild climate and you're not used to living in a colder climate, there are things that come along with that. So let's dive into that a little bit. Okay, first things first, it generally doesn't get like super cold here, but because we are having this Arctic blast, it is going to be in the single digits this next week. It says down to 1. We'll see. If you don't like the weather here, the saying is wait 10 minutes because it will change. You can never really rely on those weather apps. You constantly have to be looking at them because they update regularly. But anyways, that's what we're looking at right now. We are having back-to-back winter storms. So we're seeing a little bit of accumulation of snow here in the valley, but that's not typical. Generally, we have on average only 20 inches of snow here a year. So that is divided into like 4 or 5 different snow events during the winter months. And that's just here in the valley where we get the snowpack, and the accumulation of snow is up in the mountains. And that's where we want it because that's where we get all of our water. So we want the snowpack up there. And that is where we also enjoy our winter activities, right? So, but down here, 2 to 4 inches typically. And generally speaking, by mid-afternoon or the next day, it's gone. You might see little remnants, like little piles here and there where it's been shoveled and sort of accumulates. But other than that, it kind of just melts and goes away. Unless, like right now, we're having back-to-back snowstorms, it will accumulate a little bit, which means you gotta shovel. Now, shoveling's not awesome, but I will say it is 1, a good workout, 2, it gets you outside, and 3, still working on that 3rd one. Haven't come up with it yet. But anyhow, you might have to shovel every now and then. If you don't have a shovel, you can always get a snow, what do they call them? It's not a snow plow, snow machine? No. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of what it's called right now. Seriously, it's the electronic snow plow things that you buy and the snow goes. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of it right now. Anyways, I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Let's move on. Hey there, my name is rebelann-mueller. I am a realtor here in the Boise and Treasure Valley area with Better Homes and Gardens, 43 degrees north real estate. I moved here 20 years ago from Napa, California. Now I'm lucky enough I get to others just like you do the exact same thing. If you are interested, be sure and grab my relocation guide. It is pinned in the comments below. If you are enjoying this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button. If you're lucky enough to live in a neighborhood like mine, you will have neighborhood kids that will come knock on your door who will say, can I come shovel your driveway and your sidewalks for a small fee? That's like raking leaves for me when I was a younger kid. So you might have that happen to you, or your neighbor will just be on a roll and be like, I'm just gonna go ahead and shovel the rest of this sidewalk because it's such good exercise. I'm so happy to be out here. I don't know, it happens. I've done it before. My neighbors have done it for me before. We all just kind of collectively take care of each other. I know my neighbor next door to me was ill all last year, so we all just sort of collectively took care of their driveway. So that's something that happens. Driving in your neighborhoods, they do not plow the snow on the streets in the neighborhoods. So that is something you just have to like drive with caution, but we don't get enough accumulation typically to have it be an issue. You just drive slow, right? On our major roadways, those are taken care of though by the city. So they will put down de-icer, they'll put down sand, and they will plow. So those typically aren't an issue unless like you're one of the first people that's out on the roadway in the morning, then exercise a little bit more caution, but they do work overnight diligently to take care of those roads. So it's typically not an issue. As far as like going and playing in the snow, there are tons of places to get out and play in the snow. Gateway Parks, Eagle Island, go to Kleiner Park. There's a sled hill there that the kids love. There's a sledding hill in Boise where the governor's mansion used to be, just up Bogus Basin Road and Cartwright Ranch Road, I believe it is. And then if you go up, keep going up Bogus Basin Road, 45 minutes up, you hit Bogus Basin. That is a ski resort here. Then you can go to Tamarack or Brundage, enjoy that. But I will tell you 10 out of 10, the best thing to do in the winter is go to the hot springs. That is what I like to do. There are natural hot springs all over the place and there are pay-for ones. Both are equally awesome. Just depends what kind of mood you're in. If you need a little bit of pampering, you can go to the springs in Idaho City, or you can go to one that you can hike a couple miles to where there's less people, or you can go to some that are just off the roadway. I will say though, tips if you are going to do this, be sure to bring your water shoes because the rocks can be sharp on your feet. And what I do is I put on my swimsuit and then I put on all my other gear, all my jackets, my beanie, everything, head out. Be sure and bring snacks and water with you. Bring like a grocery bag when you're done. You can put all your wet things in there. Put that in your backpack, put all your clothes back on, and you can hike out. And please, if you go into the wilderness here, no matter what you're doing, if you're hiking, camping, going to the hot springs, if you pack it in, pack it out. That's it. Like, we want to make sure that our wilderness stays pristine here. So please, please, please do not litter. If you bring it in, bring it out. Okay, moving on. Vitamin D, take your vitamin D in the winter. Our days here are short in the winter. Sunrises around 8:15. Sunsets around 5, and until we start moving into more of those spring months, those days are just short. So not a lot of opportunity to get a whole lot of vitamin D, so definitely bring your vitamin D, or bring it. Take your vitamin D with you. Wow, what am I talking about? Be sure to take your vitamin D. Wow, okay, I swear it's dry January. This is water. What else can I tell you about winter? Fireplaces are great. Oh, I know. If you are looking for a house and you are hunting for a home in the area, if you do not want an icy driveway in the winter and that's important to you, then you may want to avoid a north-facing driveway. It is going to receive the least amount of sun during the winter, and so it's going to require you to maintain it a little bit more than if you have like a south-facing driveway or even east or west. So those north-facing driveways, and I will show you a clip here. I took a video the other day of the difference between the north-facing driveway and the south-facing, just naturally how it's crazy. The north side still has like a little accumulation of snow and the south side had already melted. So, okay, I just want to point this out. When you are looking for properties, north side driveways will have a tendency to look like this in the winter and not melt as quickly. But if you have a driveway facing south, it is going to look like this. Again, that's the south side. That is a north side driveway. Anyhow, that's all I've got to say. If you have questions about living in the Boise area during the winter, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest, I am happy to help. Here's my contact information. So I will see you next time.